Good morning. It's Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. It's by 2 p.m. today, it'll be the completion of our fourth day sailing, and we're crossing the Atlantic Ocean from the Canary Islands, Lanzarote in the Canary Islands, to Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. We're about 600 and just short of 640 miles in. We're making about 140 miles a day, nautical miles a day. This morning the winds are mild. They're about 10 knots coming from the northeast. And we're close hauled, meaning the sails are pulled in nice and tight. We're flying a great big Genoa, big front sail, big Genoa. Trim the sail so those telltales over there are flying straight back, most of the time at least. And we got the main up, and the telltales in the back of the main are flying pretty much straight back, with the top one flying back most of the time. Here's the traveler on this boat, and we had to move that up. So Reggie's really happy that there's nothing really wrong with the boat. Which is a little alarming. Nothing wrong with the boat. This boat has been through a lot. It's been through a hurricane while it was in St. Martin. He was telling me yesterday how it was stored on land on stilts. And the hurricane blew it, knocked it over, and another boat's mast or something punctured the port side of the boat. Missing any bulkheads, missing any structural supports, but still putting a big hole, and all the rigging had to be replaced. He said the insurance covered all of it though. And he did a lot to the boat. He put in a brand new engine, he put in a brand new mast support with new keel bolts. There's solar panels on it. There's a brand new boom with an in-boom furler. But anyway, getting back to this morning, beautiful morning. My shift just started. Put a different lure in. I got the fishing pole in. Fishing pole in the back. Wind generator, radar. Cool. So right now we're looking at the Genoa. It's closely pulled in tight with this winch, a self-tailing winch. Pull this around, and that trims, pulls this line, and that line goes all the way up to the clew of the Genoa. Huge Genoa. Right? Big sail. And we're looking at those little telltales in the front there. And we want those little telltales to fly straight back. Right? And there are telltales on the top too. See those little guys right up there? We want those to fly straight back too, most of the time at least. Some of the time they're going to flop all over the place because we're on a sea that's kind of wavy, and those waves will make it, a little bumpy. Anyway, wind indicator here, a little flag, and that's blowing back at an angle about maybe 35 degrees, which means we're close hauled. This boat's sailing pretty close to the wind. The sail is trimmed nice and tight, so we got good laminar flow. Not a whole lot of camber in the main. See, the main is pretty flat. The telltales are flying pretty much straight back. You could probably put a little more camber in the main by either loosening up. Well, the tension on the luff is not terribly tight right now. You can see at the bottom by the tack of the sail, it's a little wrinkly, but could probably use a little more camber. We have a little bit of twist in the main. We could probably use a little more camber. How do we get that? It's luff tension, Cunningham. We could probably ease the backstay a little bit. That's what we could do. We could ease the backstay and get some more tension, some more camber in the main. I'm going to talk to Reg about that. All's well so far. Just, hanging out, chilling. I'm on my shift, and we're in the middle of the ocean. Not another boat in sight. Yeah, nothing much to report. It's a nice, relaxed day. Temperature somewhere around 74, something like that. Couldn't be nicer. A little breeze. Not enough wind to be sailing right now, so we're on motor. We've got autopilot, and I'll show you what autopilot is in just a second. So this is autopilot, or as the French say, autopilot, pilote. What it does is it allows you to set your heading, and that allows you to basically have hands off the wheel. So there's a computer that controls the wheel. You can go increase by or decrease by 1 degree, increase by 1 degree, decrease or increase by 10 degrees as well. And a computer controls the wheel and steers the boat. You can see the wheel, there's no hands on the wheel, and the wheel is being steered by the computer. That saves a lot because it allows all the micro adjustments to be made. You don't have to like sit there and steer. Alternatively, we have another device over here called the wind vane, and this is connected to like a pulley system, which then has some lines, and those lines eventually also connect to the wheel, and that allows steering by the power of the water. So the fin right there goes into the water, that little mini rudder goes into the water, and this air fin is controlled by the air. So the air hits it, it cuts right through the air, and if the air turns one way or the other, it will turn that rudder in the water, and then that rudder will have the resistance of the water push against it, which in turn controls the pulley system, which turns the steering wheel. It's pretty ingenious. It's completely mechanical. And that's how to automatically steer the boat, which comes in handy when you have a 22-day journey. So this instrument here is all about the wind, and it tells us the direction that the wind, it's the wind indicator really. It's attached to a little device at the top of the mast, and it tells us the direction of the wind. Right now the wind is coming from almost directly in front of us because we're on motor. I guess that must be apparently. And the wind speed is about 12 knots. This readout over here tells us where we're steering. We're actually course over ground, COG, is 310 degrees or so. That's where we're heading, where we're actually driving the boat. I think it's magnetic. And where speed over ground is 6 knots. That's how fast we're going. This is my foul weather gear. If it rains really hard, you have overalls that have these straps that go over your shoulders, and they're long pants, pretty durable and pretty waterproof. And you have this special offshore jacket that's got this high neck. That's all neck, and it's cushioned inside. It's got a hood that comes out of the back here. That neon hood comes out of the back. See, there's like a neon hood that comes out of the back there, so you can put that over your head. And that high neck, long sleeves, reflective patches, so that, and it's a bright red color, so that lots of pockets. That way you can like store your gloves and your GPS or whatever else, your beaconing system. That's important to have for stormy weather. Next up in terms of my gear is the life jacket. Now I'm not wearing it right now because the seas are really, really calm. The winds are very low, so that's why I'm not wearing it now. But if the winds picked up and the seas got high, or at night when I'm on night watch I wear it, it's a life jacket. Here it's inflatable, so inside here there's a mechanism that will automatically inflate when it's submerged 4 inches. It's by pressure. And there's a harness. This clip goes around the waist and goes in here. Clips into this like that, and then it's secure around the waist. Here's the harness part of it, where you have these this tether. Now this tether, it has a quick release. Pop, and that releases. You keep it on, and there are two lengths of, you can see there's two lengths. It's twisted. Two lengths of tether, right? A long one and a short one. And the idea is you would take this and clip this onto a hard point on the boat. That way you're clipped in. And if you fall, you won't fall out of the boat. It'll keep you in the boat. And if you have to release that, you take the second clip and you clip it to another hard point, like that. Now you're clipped in two places. You can release the first clip and now clip this somewhere else and remove that second clip. That way you're always clipped into something. Also on the life jacket, it's a life jacket harness system. I put this extra little side pouch and I put a little cutter tool. This cutter tool can cut any kind of line. In an emergency, you put it like that and cut. You put it like that and you cut. You pull that through and it would cut a line in an emergency. I have this side pack, and in the side pack I've got a couple of emergency rations, a PLB, personal locator beacon, so if you're falling in the water and nobody can come to rescue you, you pop the antenna up on this, like that, lift that antenna up in the air, push the red button for 5 seconds, and then the helicopters hopefully come. Then finally in here I got a flashlight, and everything's sort of tethered inside the bag so you don't drop it. And that comes in handy at night. I also have a headlamp that I'm using at night that has a red light so I don't disturb my crewmates.